Alright, here it is. The controller all put together, such as it is. I still haven't put the centering spring on for the throttle yet. So the next stage is the scary part, pushing the power button and seeing if we release any of the magic smoke. Alright, battery works. Okay, that's not what it's meant to do. Let's just check that out. Okay, so the internet says that happens when the sticks are when the remote started without the sticks being in their central neutrals position, and I checked that with my my other controller, and if I hold one of the sticks off center while I start it, it does exactly the same thing. So that's not really surprising because I haven't got a center for that, and this is all a little bit floppy and probably not exactly neutral. So I think the next stage is to do a calibration on the remote to see what we get. Okay, I've got that round the wrong way. That's probably just the orientation of that potentiometer, because it was on, yeah, it makes sense, it was on the top and it was facing out the way it is there, so everything's reversed. But that's okay because that one is wired into the breakout board, so all I need to do is swap, leave the center where it is and swap the two outer wires. Leave the center where it is and swap the two outer wires. Yep, so move sticks to the maximum limit in all directions. Alright. And that one. Oh, I didn't do throttle yet, that's why. There we go. Finish. Nice. Okay.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Okay, trigger button's working. So let's start her up. I think if I roll and there goes.
Go the other way. Okay, we have
Take
engine
off.
start.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Whoa, 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 whoa. She's yawing and drifting. Backwards. Oh, okay, so that is definitely run the wrong way. Roll is definitely run the wrong way. Okay, I think I'm going to change that as well. Oops, it's going the wrong side. Coming down. Alright, so while I got it here, it seems to work. Okay, let's go back up. Okay.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Okay, so that's got a bit of bias. It's not centering properly. Let's come down. Ooh. That was a crash. Right, so what I learned from that is that somehow I've got the roll stick, the roll potentiometer the wrong way around, and that makes sense now that I look at it, because I put it on the bottom and I think it was on the top, but it's easy to fix because I've wired it into the breakout board there. I can just reverse the two wires on the outside of the, keep the middle one where it is and just reverse those two, and that will be the same as swinging the pot around. The other thing I don't like is that at the moment that's camera down, wheel back is camera down, wheel forward is camera up. That probably makes a lot of sense to video game players, but to me it should be more like a stick, where nose down, camera down, nose up, camera up, like flying. That's just the way my brain's wired, so that's the way I'm going to go with it. And that's the same thing. I can just reverse the two wires that come out of the wheel. Camera works. Obviously this is a bit sloppy, and I think that's the issue I'm having. But that should be easy to fix just by putting a big shim underneath the spring, just to tighten up the returns. That hopefully that'll take it. And I might have to, I don't know why that's, have a look inside there and see why that potentiometer seems to have a bias one way or the other. It might just be a case of making a new shaft. Yeah, the other thing that's going to be an issue is that once this is in here, I'm going to crash into my thumb here. I thought I'd left enough clearance, but obviously not, so I'm going to have to lift this screen holder up a few centimeters. Right, plenty to get on with. Okay, updates. I've fixed the roll pot, rewired it inside here on the breakout board so it now operates in the right direction. I've rewired the tilt wheel for the camera, so now forward is down and back is up, which is the way I wanted it. Rather than building a spring return for the throttle, I've put this little bearing and a notch in the bottom of the handle so I can feel where it comes to rest, where neutral is. So I can leave it going up or I can leave it coming down, but I can feel where neutral is. What else have I done? Oh, I've built this structure here to raise the iPad up out of the way of the handle. The other thing I realised through a bit of testing was that some of my photos were out of focus, and that's because I had failed to realise or forgotten that the button on the remote control is 2 stages: focus and fire, and I hadn't taken that into account. So I've taken it apart and pulled a wire off. I pulled another contact off that shutter button board and run that to the thumb button on my joystick here. So now that's focus and that's fire, focus and fire, a bit like the back button focusing on a DSLR. And then while I was in there, I performed a beeperectomy, so no more beep 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 beep, which is fantastic. Alright, so the next point, or the next stage is testing, a test flight. Tune in chapter 5.